Economics and politics are the foundation of human development.
While forming the world's earliest civilizations, Africans also laid the groundwork for the creation of economic systems.
By learning from our history, we gain the strength to empower the present and design the future. Presenting the premier forum for truth, culture, and change. HAPI Talks. Join us as we unlock the secrets to our success. Peace, family, peace. All right, we have. I'm so happy to be with you guys this evening. You know, we did this is a little extra show. We have another in studio session that will be next Sunday. With actually, this is the person who he was the first person to tape our in studio session. You know, I called him up and I was like, "Oh, can you do this?" You know, I called him like a day before. And he was like, "Yeah, there it is." I went and picked him up. We rolled out to the studio and he not only shot one in studio session with us, he shot like 3 or 4. And that's Infodishi Juhuti Miss. I mean, you guys know how I feel about him. And so I'm really excited. You know, we had a really good discussion about spiritual warfare. So that's going to be on next Sunday coming up, March. I think it's like March 2nd, I believe. March 1st or March 2nd. But first, before we even get started, family, make sure that you are liking, sharing, and commenting on this video. So it's cool when you guys are, liking our stuff and even any of our social media stuff. But when you actually put a little comment, put a little fire emoji or something like that, it keeps the conversation going. And when the conversation is going, keeps going back and forth, it just the way that all the algorithms with all the social media platforms, the more people are talking, the more they shoot it out to more and more people. So then we start getting or having access to just more Black folks. Okay. So family, if you could make sure you are liking, sharing, and commenting on this video. Last time we were live, we had said I think we were like 27 or 37 away from getting reaching 37,000. And by the end of the show, as soon as we signed off, we were at 37,000. So thank you, family. That's what's up. Make sure, and that's on our YouTube channel. So make sure, that you are liking, you're subscribing to, all of our platforms. We're on YouTube, Facebook, IG, X, and yeah, that's everywhere. Yeah, I think. Oh, and TikTok. We're now on TikTok. I gotta change that. We're on TikTok. TikTok's a whole other thing. Don't even let me get started with TikTok. But yeah, so we're on all the channels. Make sure you are liking and that you're subscribed to it. And specifically on YouTube, because as soon as we go live, you get a little notification saying we live, and that way you don't have to miss any of anything that we're gonna say. Because we always have really good guests. And tonight is this is near and dear to my heart, because when we first got started with the movement, with the HAPI movement, and we talked about one of the things that Dr. Claude Anderson talks about a lot is controlling the press. And so just immediately we started doing a newsletter, and it started, to kind of pick up some traction. And then, we had this one brother, we saw him at the African Street Festival, and he was like, "Oh my God, I subscribe to y'all, blah, 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 blah." And then I found out he was an educator, and I was like, "Oh, you mind writing a letter?" Write an article. And he's been writing for us for years. So, that's super cool. So, this newsletter has a lot of heart and soul and work that goes into it. So we really want you to make sure that you are subscribed. So if you just go to happyfilm.com, you hit the click the button that says stay connected, put in your email address, and there you go. My little co-host, Hassan Williams, will be joining us shortly as well. And also the other piece, family, is right there. It's a little Cash App. So let's talk about the Cash App and what it does. So anytime you guys send us any money, even if it's $1, $4.44, whatever it is that you guys send, and I'm always it's so interesting. I always want to ask people, like, what made you send $4.44? And then sometimes I just look up these numbers because it's like, oh, they mean stuff. That's what's up. Listen, family, anything that you send us, it goes directly back into the family. Everything that you see, these in-studio sessions that you're seeing, they're shot by Black people, edited by Black people, all the graphics, Black people. And this is how we pay for things. And so if you don't have like actual cash to send, when you like and share, and specifically sharing and commenting on our videos, that's also currency as well. Okay. But also when you send us Cash App, it really goes a long way. So family, thank you for all the people who have donated last time, and for anybody that's going to donate this time around. Let me see what else. Oh, merchandise. So I have on some of our merchandise. Let me see. I'm sorry. Because we have a clearance sale. I had a little clearance sale. I have on our Nubia shirt. I see a lot of people rocking this Nubia shirt. I don't know if you guys know that that's a HAPI official Nubia shirt, but you can head over to our to hapifilm.com and get some of our merchandise. We got hoodies, we got all types of stuff. And we even have hats. So, make sure, that's another way to support, because I'm telling you, anything that you guys do goes directly back to, we keep the circle of Blackness going. And my last thing, family, is, the HAPI film, our documentary. It's on Amazon Prime, it's on Tubi, and it's on Quayle TV. Okay. If you have not seen the HAPI documentary, because we have a lot of new faces coming that are supporting us. So we have a whole documentary that we did, and it includes 30 scholars. Most of them have been on, I would say almost all of them have been on HAPI Talks at some point, except for maybe like 2 people. But we have 30 scholars, including Professor James Small, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, just everyone is in this film. And we look at the history of money. And so if you have not seen HAPI, okay, please make sure that you roll over to, I'm sorry, family. Make sure that you, that you go to one of those three of our platforms, so that, you can see the film and really understand where HAPI Talks came from. We started off with the documentary, but then during COVID, we were like, okay, COVID's going to probably be like 2 months. We had a whole 8-city tour we were about to do with the film. And then COVID happened, and we were like, okay, for 2 months, during COVID, that's what we were thinking. We will just go ahead and bring on people that are going to be in the, that are in the film. We'll just bring them on and just do little HAPI Talks with them. And what ended up happening was, COVID ended up being a couple of years, but during this process, HAPI Talks just took off. So a lot of people don't even know that we have a whole documentary, and it's actually Taaqiy Grant's 3rd feature film. So yeah, so make sure you're supporting Amazon right there, Amazon, Quayle TV, and Tubi. All right, last thing before we bring on our distinguished guests. So we have a trip coming up. Now, this is exciting. I know I say, what, I'm not going to even apologize for saying things are exciting anymore, because I live a life of exciting things. A lot of things make me excited, but this right here, family. So we were able to decrease the trip price, because we had a little conversation with our land people over in Africa, and they were able to work some better prices for us, which in turn, we were like, we got to give it to the people, because the most important thing, and ACAT Tours, our mission at ACAT Tours is to bring more of the family over to the continent, so we can experience it, so we can get spiritual enlightenments, like all the things that happen when you travel. But that's really super important for us. But it's really nice because the trip went down a couple of coins over there. So please go to acattours.com and get all the information, get registered, because I'm telling you, this is going to be a really good trip. And 2 of the people that are on this call actually they've traveled with us. Well, 3, including Hassan. So they can attest and talk to you about our big fun that we have on these trips. But this one includes Ghana, Togo, and Egypt. Okay, we hit in 3 countries. There's nobody else that's hitting 3 countries at the price point that we're giving it. So I'm just telling you, the value is incredible. The information that you're going to get, again, incredible. So family, if you can make it happen, please make it happen. I'm not trying to be in nobody's pocketbook, but I do understand that it's like, little tax time. And so, feel free to throw some of them tax dollars right here on the trip. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this happens August 20th to August 30th. And it's going to be a really fun time. Okay. I think I've hit everything. All right. So now I'm going to introduce you to everyone. So first, we're going to start with, I'm going to bring everybody on. Okay. So everybody's going to be on so you can see all the people. And listen, family, like I said, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter. Okay. The newsletter is a way Dr. Claude Anderson talks about this when he rolls out the blueprint for power, is that a people must have their own press, because the press will report on stories, good and bad, but it keeps you informed of what's going on in the community and how to uplift everyone. And our HAPI newsletter is exactly doing that specific thing. So first, I'm going to bring on Brother Gordon. How you doing?
Hotep, sister. How you doing?
I'm good. All right. We got Taletta.
Peace and blessings, everybody.
Yay. And look at her happy shirt. And we have Jae from JuiceWorx.
Peace, everyone. Blessings.
Yay. And we have Amoye. Everybody know Amoye. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Hotep, everyone.
Yes. And then we have Miss Zuwena Salim.
Peace. I'm Hotep.
Yes. All right. So family, I want you guys, to me, I feel like these are like the superheroes. Like the Justice League. Remember when everybody came to the Justice League, everybody has something different that they're doing. This is how I feel about when Black people work together. Okay. We've been doing this newsletter, I feel like over since 2020. So it's almost been 5 years of the newsletter every month. And so first, I just want to start with Brother Gordon. Okay. So Gordon is the one I was telling you guys about in the beginning, that we were at the African Street Festival here in Brooklyn, and he came up to our tent and we were talking. You were with another woman. I can't remember the other woman's name. You both were like educators. And then I started chatting you up, and then you were telling me stuff you're doing. I was like, oh, you think you could write for the newsletter? And then you were like, yeah. But you actually followed through, which is cool, because sometimes people say things, but they don't actually follow through. And so what made you follow through? What made you want to write?
Yeah, first, absolutely. Thank you, sister. Shout out to Sister Lisa Morris. She wasn't there with me, but that's the sister I mentioned to you about. But what made me start this? So with our auspicious meeting that we had, we were able just to sit down, have a conversation. And at the time, I was a physical education teacher for about 22 years at that time. And you said, hey, can you write some articles? And I said, sure. Because as an African, the first thing I do is I look for, well, what's the work? How can I help? How can I be of assistance? And writing articles, I just try to write articles that will be able to give African people a better understanding of what things they're going through, whether, be health-wise, mental health, just the overall well-being. And how can we get through a system that really isn't designed for us? Mm-hmm. And I could be able to write some tips and just give good content. That's all.
Yeah. And, I want to talk to you a little bit about your content, because a lot of what you do, it's you talk a lot about like mental health, and a lot of times we don't really talk about that stuff, and we don't actually put it in writing. So what makes you, what made you come around to like writing about that topic, and how has it, just helped you?
Besides me being an educator for 25 years, I'm also a licensed social worker.
Mm,
And so
I didn't know that.
when, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So when I think about these things, I normally think about, what can I write about that greatly impacts African people? Like I know one article I wrote about was dealing with Black therapy. In our communities, we are taught not to really express our feelings,
Mhm.
hold things in. My mom used to say, boy, you don't need to see nobody. Well, yeah, you do. You do. Especially you can find one that's culturally aligned with you. That's
Mhm.
that's an African centered. It could be a very, very big help and to be able to guide you through this thing that we call life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, family. Here's one of the articles when you were talking about Black love, the importance of Black love, and I was just like that, because a lot of people, say that, Black love is revolutionary and things like that, but you really go into detail. And you know what, family? Brother Gordon actually puts, he has, like the little credits at the end, like he's writing a term paper. Now, I just want to just let you know how serious he is about this. And so he's like, he ain't chat GP and something. He's like legit writing and finding sources. So this is not like somebody's just not like, you know, re, just making up, articles. Like he's really, done his due diligence with this.
Yes, absolutely. And Dr. Cornelius has always taught me about data, about evidence, your references, your sources. So that's important. So when I write these articles, I want people to know, well, this is where I got it from. This is where, if you want to read a little more about it, just, read this reference and maybe that'll give you a guide to answer some of the questions that maybe I didn't answer in the article.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay, we're gonna come back to you. But, so Miss Taletta,
Yes.
introduce yourself, Taletta.
Okay, so I'm Taletta Bryant. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I am in private practice. I've been in private practice now 20 plus years. I have one daughter, 3 grandsons, a son in love. So I'm all about family. I'm about our community, educating our community. So like I said, I've been practicing for 22 years and I've been in private practice for 20. And I started off in criminal defense. And that cycle just got to be too much. And so I decided to move out of that and start working with business and estate planning, estate administration. So I touch about a little bit of everything: education, government, business, estate planning, estate administration. So my practice is very well rounded. And like I said, I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I practice here. So I know a lot of people, and I don't have to advertise because I know so many people. And so I just wanted, the reason why I started writing with the newsletter is, first off, my trip to Kemet with you all was life-changing. Matter of fact, it's been about 2 years. And so yesterday, my memories kept coming up of the pictures that we took while we were in Kemet. And so when I came back, you guys started advertising about, being a part of the newsletter. So like, how can I contribute, And so while they may not be lynching us as much, legal process is where they're getting us, especially with businesses and taxes and so on and so forth. So I try to educate my clients as well as the community on things we need to know to protect ourselves, as well as ways to build wealth and pass the wealth on beyond one generation, try to do some generation skipping kind of stuff. So that's me.
Yeah. And, listen, it's so funny because as I, just like physically putting the newsletter together, I'm reading everybody's articles. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know this. It's just like so many things. And the other piece about what you do, which is so important, is that other communities always have like lawyers and judges and people like that help keep the community safe. And so we, like when I look at you, I'm just like, yo, like you're making sure like not only are we keeping money and like the estate stuff, and because I know you, and when I'm reading it, I can hear your voice saying some of the things that you were saying, like, specifically about the estate planning.
Yeah.
Which is something that we don't always think about. You know, I'm trying to, let me see, let me put up only.
And real quick with estate planning, a lot of times people think that's end of life stuff. So we as a community, we don't want to talk about it. But first off, you're going to leave here. We're all going to leave here. So we have to have a conversation about what that looks like and what your expectations are, you know, what you plan to leave. And then too, another thing, like I was saying, it can be a wealth building tool if you do it right. Yeah. Insurance is not just about when people die. You know, our counterparts, you know, invest in whole life policies so that they can have money so their children, when they graduate from high school, they can have money to start a business or buy a house, you know. So there's so many different things that I'm finding that our community is not aware of. I wasn't aware of it until I started practicing. And so I just try to pass that on to us, you know. And so I just want to be a, I guess, resource. Mm-hmm. And so I was going to mention, you know, going forward, if people have questions, shoot them, you know, that way I can do the research and respond. Even if I don't practice, I'm licensed here in North Carolina. I can represent a business anywhere in the United States. But I'll do the research for wherever you are to make sure, you know, that we're making informed decisions. So I would rather you have the information and understand, or at least just have somebody you could call and talk through before you get yourself caught up in something that you can't get out of.
Absolutely. And you know what, family? Thank you for that. First of all, thank you, Taletta. That's what's up. One of the things that this last the newsletter that we just had in February, it was really good because you were just like, are you going to do this business or not? But the thing about it was, and this is the thing, family, that I want you to understand, is that our newsletter isn't just about us just like talking and talking and talking. We actually have links you press, you go to something so you can get more information. But Toledo had also gave us a link so that we could, you know, take a little quiz to kind of see, well, not really quiz, but an intake form to help us with fleshing out our business. And her email address is on there. Everybody's email address is there, so you can contact everyone directly. So the support is real when, you know, when we're talking about doing this, you know, doing this newsletter. So thank you. Thank you.
Last thing, my upcoming article is going to be on Durham, the Black Wall Street of North Carolina.
Because everyone thinks that we only had Black Wall Street in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Also, that's what's up. Okay. I can't wait to read these. This is good. This is good. I see that our other host is here. What's up, Hassan?
What's going on? You was about to say our other little host.
I know. I stopped myself. I was so close to saying little. I see, but listen, I see you. All great minds think of sayings. So you have the other one. Yeah, mine's is vintage. You have like the newer version. You know.
That's because you're older than me.
Uh-oh. Hey, little shots fired. Okay.
Get you back. Peace, family. Peace. Happy family.
Peace.
Peace to the panel.
I couldn't have picked a better co-host, I tell you. Okay. All right. So these are like these two cats. They are always contributing articles every single month, and thank God for them. So there's another we opened this up to the family in terms of like if you guys have articles that you've written or that you want to like contribute, or you think something, you know, the family needs to say, needs to hear. We are always, you know, like looking for articles, and sometimes people send us some stuff, and as long as it aligns with who we are, we don't mind publishing those things. And then there's like some people who, you know, like, you know, because I'm always like scrolling, looking at stuff, and so is Taaqiy, and so is Salim. We're always like looking for stuff. And then there's like ideas that come with us, and we're just like, you know what, we need to like have, like this needs to be part of our newsletter. And so two people on this panel today are fit that mold. So the first one I want to talk to you, I want to introduce you to, and so you guys may know her, Zuwena Salim. How you doing, Zuwena?
I'm great. How are you?
Yes. All right. So I want you to tell everybody like what you do. Like what is it? I mean, you do a lot of things.
Yeah, I do.
So what will you be doing for the HAPI Newsletter?
So for the HAPI Newsletter, I will be writing a crystal corner. And so I will specifically be talking about crystals that you can utilize in your life for emotional healing, spiritual well-being, because I love crystals. So to be able to talk about crystals for a living is like, when they say, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So I really feel like that with my job because I get to talk about crystals. I love crystals. I love sharing that information. And I feel that a lot of people stop at this crystal is pretty and it makes me feel good, but they don't really dive down the rabbit hole of the actual healing that takes place with crystals, how many different types of crystals there are. There's more than amethyst, clear quartz, and citrine, so I'm excited that I'll be able to share a new crystal every month. And we're going to start with obsidian.
Yeah. So listen, family, you got to make sure, and I'm so sorry. I have to, I'm going to go back and put everybody's information up here, but you got to make sure you are following Inner Outer Balance, because I tell you, I'll be scrolling and she's like, oh, she used to say a little question. I was like, okay, what's Zuwena talking about? And then when you start listening, especially the stuff about the shadow work and this and that, I was like, okay, so I've been following you for a minute. And plus, your father is always talking about you. Like it don't matter what interview it is, he he starts talking about Crystology and he talks about you. And so I want to ask you, now that I'm talking to you, what made you get into Crystology?
I got my first crystal when I was like 5. And so it kind of dealt with what I said, like crystals are pretty and, I feel good when I have it. But then I started talking about crystals as I started learning more about them, because I'm like, I got to dive a little deeper than these are pretty. And I feel good when I have them. I'm a Scorpio, so we're about diving deep, transformation. And so I was like, I gotta do. So I started making YouTube videos like 10 years ago. And this is when I was still working in academia. I was a research scientist at University of Houston. And so I was still in academia, but for fun, I would talk about crystals. And everyone is like, oh, do you sell crystals? You should sell crystals. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should. And so that's kind of how I got into it. And then when I moved from Houston back to New York City, my dad has, when you go to his table on 125th, he has his crystals. And so I really started getting into it then. And I got certified as a crystal healer and really started learning about them. And now if I'm an introvert, so I'm not like the most talkative person if I don't know you, but I have a t-shirt that says introverted, but willing to discuss crystals.
I like that. That's what's up.
I was just going to ask you that too. When you said that you're an introvert, I was going to ask you if that's the case, how would you go about explaining what the benefits of crystals are to someone that has no idea and ultimately is like what can a crystal do for me? Not knowing that it's alive.
Right. And so what I usually do, because there's levels to speaking about crystals. So of course you have to have crystals. Sometimes I'll tell people like everything is energy. And I'll have people come up to me like when I'm vending on 125th and they're like, well, what's energy? And I'm like, okay, well, if we're going to start there, we got a lot of work to do. Yeah. So I teach crystal classes. I have a beginner crystal class. And my next one is starting Sunday, March 1st. It's not too late to register for that. But I also have a crystal book, and it's called the Crystal Reset. And it's a practical guide to understanding how crystals work. So it's not like, I like to demystify, kind of debunk all of this. Sometimes we get a little woo-woo when it comes to crystals. And I find it easier to kind of bring it back and make it more practical, how it works within your life. Not so mystical, even though they are mystical and magical.
Yeah.
Can you pinpoint when you were aware that certain crystals worked for you in your life?
Can I pinpoint it?
Yeah. Or did you just came up in it, so you was always aware?
Well, I was always aware, but there's levels to working with crystals. So like I have crystals under my pillow. I always have crystal jewelry on. I meditate with crystals. So I think doing those extra things like popping them under my pillow and seeing how it affected my dreams, meditating with it and seeing how it affected my meditation versus not doing it. I think those are the kind of things that help me kind of understand them more and go deeper into feeling the subtle energies of crystals.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah, that's wow, that's interesting. I know when I first started, when I think I was introduced to crystals by your dad,
Probably. Yeah.
and I was something and he started telling me how to wash them. And you know what, family, just for you guys, if you don't know who Zuwena's dad is, it's Infudisi Juhuti. You're just like, just like,
Your
everybody.
dad. Yeah.
But he was like the first one, and he just kept saying, he's like, yeah, I know some stuff. He's like, but my daughter, So that's what's up. Yeah, thank you. All right, so you're not going nowhere. Not going nowhere. Mr. J. Oops, oh, I didn't remove them.
Peace, everyone.
Peace.
All right, Jay. So tell everybody who you are.
Well, I want to start off by saying happy birthday to my son, Maui. He
Oh.
turns 9 years young today, so today's a special day for me. Celebrating his life and also being on the show. So I want to say thank you for having me on this special day as well. I'm Jay. I'm just a pillar of the community, is what I've been told since we've opened up JuiceWorx here in Harlem and Sugar Hill a little over 2.5 years ago. I just provide wealth in the form of health to this community, and as we've grown, we've opened up so many lanes for others, and vice versa. So being in this specific space and being in Sugar Hill in this historical neighborhood, it's meant a lot to me. It's meant a lot to our community who's walked in and supported JuiceWorx. So yeah, we're just here providing fruits and vegetables to the community. Simple as that.
Fruits and vegetables. So it's so funny when people come on here and they just talk modestly about what they do, like, oh, I just provide fruits and vegetables to the community. All right, so let me talk to you guys a little bit about Jay. Because one of the things that I think that and this is like a testament to when we own businesses, that we are really good business owners. Black people are really good business owners because we always do more than like what our business is doing, right?
Right.
So so Jay also hosts it's like a man's club, man's meeting club. I don't even know what you call it.
Yeah, well, I don't, not a man's club, because that sounds more like a women's hate club. I don't want to get it confused with that, but it's just a men's meeting, men's meetup, or men's group, whatever you want to call it, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock here at the shop. And your son, Hunty, he came in yesterday for the first time, and he was great. We enjoyed his youth, and kind of helped him out too a bit with a couple things he was trying to figure out when it came to his musical career. So we gave him some good advice. I would love for him to use it. It seems like he will. So what we do on Wednesday, we just get together as men and we just open the floor and we just pretty much just speak our heart, speak our mind, whatever's troubling you, whatever you're celebrating, whatever you need work with or help with. It's okay to lay it out on the table, and we can see how we can help you or who can help you specifically. And it's been pretty good. We've been going at it for maybe I want to say 3 to 4 months. Yeah, maybe 4 months the max. And it's been wonderful. It's been helping everyone individually. Guys can get emotional here, which we allow. We want that because for men of color, it's pretty difficult for us to be emotional and just open up. So this is that platform where you can do it. If you want to come in and you're just unsure, it's okay to just be a fly on the wall, and then you can express yourself and open up whenever you feel free to. But it's definitely a needed space. So it also aligns with the wellness, the health and wellness brand of JuiceWorx, because it's not just physical health, it's mental health that's needed, as well. So yeah, thank you for shedding light on that too, Felicia. Thank you.
Yeah, I asked my son, I was like, he was amped to go when we came back. I said, oh, what you guys talk about? He's like, I can't tell you all of that, mommy. I was like, you know what? Good answer.
That's right.
Good
And we
answer.
didn't tell him that, but
I
he's
told
on point.
Yeah, I told him that because it's like there's a place where I think, you know, men should just be men and do men things without women. So I was like, you know, I was very, you know, like that's good. So I do have a question about, you know, out of all the businesses you could start, you know, in Harlem, like why did you choose a juice business?
Good question. And I figured you would ask me that also. A lot of people ask. Honestly, I wanted to get into a business that I thought would be inexpensive, along with providing something, you know, of value and health to the community. So I thought, you know, why not a juice bar? I thought fruits and vegetables would be a pretty inexpensive thing, and that was not the case. So fruits and vegetables can get pretty expensive. But yeah, I thought it would be, you know, that was the cost and simple. I'm not a chef, so I didn't want to open up like a full blown restaurant. I wanted to keep things simple, so that's why we're labeled as a juice boutique. I didn't want thousands of items, you know, 50 juices, 50 smoothies. I wanted to just perfect the small amount of product that we, you know, that we present to the neighborhood and the community. And yeah, that's pretty much it, you know. And it all really started with just wanting to provide something positive to the community.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the cool thing, family, is that Jay's going to be writing an article that so every month he's going to be dropping like a new juice on us and talk about like the health benefits and you know, and how to make it, you know. And I think everyone has a love-hate relationship with juice making. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, you know, maybe other people on the panel can talk about that. It's just like I have a juice maker, and then, you know, at first you're like gun-ho, you know, you're getting the stuff and you're doing it. Then at some point you're like, yeah, I'm good. Let me go down the street and get this juice.
Yeah, it's almost like purchasing a treadmill, and then after a while the treadmill becomes like a clothesline. You know, you start hanging up all your clothes and stuff. So I always encourage people, you know, whenever they begin their juice journey or they get back to it, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? If you leave us for a minute, it's okay. But I know usually the cleanup and the process before and after is what usually draws people back to us too as well. So you're right about that, Felicia.
Yeah. 100%. And family, he has a really good avocado toast too, and lentil soup.
Yes, she loves it. She says the lentil soup is too expensive. I beg to differ.
You know what?
But it's just as good all the same. You know, it's wonderful. And so like I stated in the beginning, we've been here about 2.5 years, and we're growing day by day. We get new customers in every day. We're still looking for new customers within our community that, you know, that we're serving that aren't aware of who we are or where we are. Just because of our location, there's not many commercial spaces where we're at. So there's a Dunkin' Donuts, laundromat, us, and a convenience store, and then the rest of the block is pretty much residential. So, you know, I'm glad, like I said, you guys invited me. Maybe this will shed some light on some of the community that's nearby who had no idea that we were here.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And, you know, and also family, he's next to a Black-owned laundromat. You can like have clothes on, you go next door, get a little juice, have a little conversation. Like it's nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful situation. You know, I couldn't have asked for anything different or anything more. You know, as we know, Harlem is, you know, being gentrified or has been gentrified and is continuing. But for the universe to allow me to be placed right next to another Black business was very special. You know, I didn't see that coming, and it's a beautiful thing to have two Black businesses in Harlem side by side. Yeah. And they're V&T's laundry box, just in case, just to plug them in there as well.
Yeah, you know, I've never known the name of their place. Thanks.
I know, because his sign is so high, you can only see it if you're driving by, but if you're walking, you won't pay attention to it. But yeah, so I plug the family in as well.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, please, Brother Jay, quick question.
Peace. Yes.
Well, first of all, thank you for providing, a healthy location for us to partake in, and
Thank you.
for providing a safe place for men to come and express themselves.
Yes.
So in the beginning, when you first started that, for men to come through and talk and share, what were they like? What was the response? Were they like reluctant or just ready to get to it?
Well, I don't want to take credit for it. I didn't start it. Actually,
Okay.
that was a good segue because my neighbor next door who owns the laundromat, he actually started it. It came up from a tragedy. I think his cousin had passed away horribly, and he had the wake at his laundromat, and he has a space downstairs. So we were just outside, talking, and he was like, you know what? There should be a space, for men to just talk and grieve or whatever it may be, just free speech, and he offered his space, and the group of guys that we have in the neighborhood, we were like, you know what, we need it. We're down. Let's do it. So it started there, and actually the very first meeting that we had, he brought up some issues he was having with his business. His personal credit, business credit, and things like that. And a lot of guys from the group chimed in and gave him different pointers and tips. And immediately, as the next day, he started to work on those things. And by the week after that, when we came back for our second meeting, he had thanked us because he was like, yo, everything that you guys told me to do, I did it, and it's starting to work. And it was like instant. And, so that encouraged, more guys to open up, more guys to listen, more guys to help out. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to keep that space going on the specific day, Wednesday, that we needed. So I was like, it's a no-brainer. I was like, we can just pivot next door because, we either hang out at his space or my space. So, I said, you know what, we'll pick it up. We'll pick up the slack and we'll have it at our spot. Now, some guys are a little more reluctant to speak. Like I said, if you just want to be a fly on the wall, you can do it. But what I've noticed is at some point, you're going to open up eventually. Like I said, guys have been emotional. I've been emotional in there. And the reluctancy isn't that long. I've noticed that, and then once the guys are comfortable, it just flows after that. So it's a great space. It's a great space. I thought personally that, most guys would be bottled up, and it would be just pretty much silence or maybe one or two fellas speaking, but no, it's been a comfortable space. I don't know what we're doing to make people so comfortable, honestly, because, we rarely have topics, which we've done in the past. We'll do in the future. We'll bring up topics. We'll have certain articles for the fellas to read. We're setting up to go do an outing, just a group outing to enjoy and let our hair down. So once again, like I said, I don't know what we're doing to make men so comfortable because there's no specific platform that we're following. We're just getting in there and we're just, opening up. Hunter, he came in yesterday for the first time, and he, we usually do like a road call, and he happened to be in the first spot where if you're sitting in that spot, we usually start there and then we go around clockwise. He didn't know he was in that spot, but he volunteered immediately to set it off. So that was, I was impressed with him when it came to that. So you're doing a great job, Fee. Just letting you know, doing a great job with him.
Thank you.
Well,
I think it's a twofold. I think that that men want to share, they want to express.
Yes.
I think that's one of the things they want to express.
Right.
And then I think that because I'm looking at you and I'm feeling your energy, and there's a realism to you. And I would think that there's a realism energy that's in that space where people are like, the men are like, yeah, I can express myself. I need to express myself. And eventually, you just end up doing it because it's something that you need to do internally.
Yeah, right. You're absolutely right. Like you said, we hold a lot of things in, we bottled up. So it's like, you see somebody else opening up and you're like, man, I needed this. I just, you feel compelled, you feel compelled.
Yeah.
And the group is, it's pretty much based with different ages too, different age groups. The oldest member, Noble, is, I want to say 62 or 67. I'm not sure. So Hunter was actually the youngest group member we've ever had so far. But the ranges, the ages, they range. They range. So I figure, whether, whatever stage you're in life, meaning age, you want to hear from someone older or you want to hear from someone younger, So I think that helps, and that lends an ear to anyone who's just interested in learning or listening, which is a great tool that most people aren't good at, listening. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. Good stuff, brother.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, don't go nowhere. All right. And so now our last guest, Amoye. So there's an article that we always write in every newsletter. We always have Dr. Rosalind Jeffries. He picks a book that she thinks that everyone needs to read. And between us, like sometimes I'll like give a suggestion, or it just kind of goes back and forth. And so for next month, when I was going over, I was like, because I've been seeing your cover. I've been seeing the cover of your book, and I was like, oh my God! I was like, we got to get you in here, so that we can check out this book. And so this time around, for March coming up, we're going to have Amoye's new book. And let me get a picture of the cover. So can you just introduce yourself and tell us, why did you want to write this book?
Okay. Well, my name is Amoye Neblett. I'm a retired educator, musician. And why I wanted to write this book, I've ever since the 70s, when I first read The Destruction of Black Civilization by Dr. Chancellor Williams, I've had a strong interest in history, and I studied it in college, and I really love history, especially our history, and I always wanted to write a book about the history of African people. And then after my first trip to Egypt in 2007, I really sort of zeroed in on that as being a topic for a book, writing about ancient Kemet and Kush. And then what happened, it was an amazing experience. I was on Facebook. It was a brother from Pittsburgh. We were Facebook friends. I never met him personally. And this was at a time where you can, they will allow you to put 150 pictures on Facebook if you wanted to just post. And this guy, he literally posted about 60, 70 pictures of tombs and temples in Egypt, and some of it I had never seen before. After studying for like since the 70s and 80s, I've never seen some of these things. And I asked him, where did you get all this information? And he said, from a dig in Egypt. I said, people, our people are not allowed per se to participate in digs, excavations in Egypt, with the way the government is, and it's always based around institutions, museums and certain schools that allow people to do those kinds of things. And I just, I never heard of that. So he had told me that Anthony Browder had excavate. He was financing an excavation in Egypt, and so I got in touch with him. And the difference is studying history and having the desire to write about it is one thing, but actually doing field research is a completely different thing. And but before I went to the excavation with Tony Browder, I had been studying some things with Runoko Rashidi. And he used to give all of these tours. He's all over the world. And I've always wanted to go on one of his tours. And so he had a tour going to Sudan to study, ancient Kush and Nubia. And that's what I really wanted to do. So I signed up for his tour. And then I found out about the excavation in Egypt with Tony Browder. And I sort of I really had to put money, because it was these two trips and they were like a couple of weeks apart. And so what I did was I signed up for the excavation for 2 weeks with Tony Browder. And then the following that, I was going to meet with Runoko Rashidi in Sudan. And the connection, doing the field research, you can read about ancient Kemet, you can read about ancient Kush and how similar the civilizations were, but to see the connection was a life-changing experience for me. And so that's when I decided I really need to write a book and delve into this subject a little bit deeper. But I sort of had in my book on one of the concepts is that, well, the name of the book, I didn't even say the name of the book, it's called Bidi, The Spirit of Our Ancestors. And it's the indigenous Black rulers of Egypt. And, starting with the Europeans and then the Americans, trying to tell everyone that the ancient Egyptians were Caucasians. There are a lot of our scholars who, proved that ancient Egyptians were indigenous Africans. But because of the fact that we don't control the media, we don't control a lot of the narratives around the history of our people, these misconceptions are allowed to continue. And then now with this radical groups of Arabs that came in after the Arab Spring, now all of a sudden the Arabs are saying that they were the indigenous rulers of Kemet. So I wanted to chime in with what has already been said and just give it a different look. So I wrote this book. It's a book that's in two parts. Part one is about the scientific data, and then part two is like short biographies of 10 rulers of ancient Kemet, 5 who were men and 5 who were women. And so that's what the book is about, and that's what really prompted me to write it.
And how long did it take for you to write this?
Okay, that's an interesting question, because it took me a little over a year, about a year and a half to write it. But I started right before COVID, and then when COVID happened, I sort of got into it, and I kept learning new things. After I finished writing the book, I kept learning new things, and I kept adding it. So it just went on forever. And a lot of people kept telling me, well, you just really need to publish the book, and all this other stuff that you keep learning, that's the next book, So finally published it past October is when it came out.
Okay.
And you know, I self-published it and distributing it myself. I'm not dealing with these other people who take all your money. After you do all the work, they take all your money for you know, distributing your books. So I have my own distribution, and you know, I started in 2020, I want to say, but October is when it was first published.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's what's up. Family, there's the website where you can just get it directly. So you can bypass Amazon and go right there. And, you know, yeah, we're not going to get started on Amazon, but right there, you can go to Amoye's website and get his book directly. And also just, you know, just be on his website. Because the website is really nice, actually. Did you do your own website?
Well, I gave the people, I hired someone to do it, but I gave them the information, how I wanted it laid out. And, you know, actually I wanted to sell the book and my music, because I also play music. But once I had the website up, I found out that they couldn't do the streaming of the music. So I have to do that another way. But it's what I probably will do is put some YouTube videos of my band playing on the website so people can check it out.
Okay. So, you know, I want to, wow, that's so, you're so blessed to be able to travel with Dr. Runoko Rashidi. Like that is awesome. How was your experience in Sudan with him? Or just in Sudan? Like, talk to us about your experience.
Like I said, that was a life changing experience because, you know, for probably, it was like 9 days, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, sitting and listening to Tony Browder and Runoko Rashidi. You know, the information that was going back and forth was unbelievable. And you know, like I've been to Egypt, and there's a lot to see in Egypt. I don't think you can see everything in like 4 or 5 times if you were to go there. Yeah. But Egypt is pretty much structured. You know every place to go and see what you're going to see. But in Sudan, it's different. The government, because of the way the government was run, all of the historic points are just it's not on the level of Egypt. So you can go there. I mean, there were times when we went into temples and the people, we would have to send for someone to get the person who worked there to come from their house to open up so we can go inside the temple.
Wow.
You know, and then there were pottery shards all over the place, and you didn't know whether these were ancient artifacts or whether it was just presents, you know, things from now. It was different, but there, you know, Kush was a much older civilization, and it was much larger, and there were so many, you know, they went from different phases. So you had places in Kerma. We went to Dongola, we went to Merowe. We went to a lot of different places, and it was really interesting to see the continuity between the cultures. You know, so these people, our ancestors, came from the south, and they followed the HAPI River, the Nile River, and so you can see the continuation of the culture from Kush all the way up to Kemet. You know, so it was very interesting. And then one night, I'm sure people have seen the pyramid. The pyramids that are in Sudan are different than the pyramids in Egypt, right?
Which one has more? In Sudan?
Yeah, Sudan has a lot more pyramids. They had over 200 pyramids in Sudan as opposed to Egypt. But there's a pyramid field in Merowe, where we have all of the majority of the pyramids there, and it's right there in the middle of the desert. And we spent the night in the desert, in the pyramid field, and you get a different feeling, because you look up at the sky and there's like literally thousands of stars in the sky. And you can even see some of the planets. People had software that they can identify the different planets there. And then you can get a real idea of how these ancestors created calendars. They created a system of keeping time. They had several different types of calendars for the year. And you can see how, they have people who were priests. That was their job, to just study the stars. And you could see the constellation. It was just, it's really hard to put into words what it was like on that night, sitting up there, spending the night in the desert with all of those pyramids and all of those stars and things. It was awesome. So, but the thing about it, people can't readily go to Sudan now because of the wars that's going on over there. And last I heard, the RSF, which is the people who are massacring Sudanese people left and right over there, they have broken into the Sudanese museum and destroyed artifacts. They destroyed a lot of the temples and things. It's not even a safe place to travel, but so I'm glad I had a chance to experience it and document some of the things that are there. My next book is going to be on Kush and Nubia.
Oh, wow. That's yeah. You know what? I know sometimes when I chat with Taaqiy about he did a film. That was his first film, Nubia: The Untold Story, and he went there with Dr. Leonard Jeffries. And when they talk about the stories and talk about like the beautifulness that they saw when they were there, I'm always like, gosh, I want to get to Sudan. I want to get to Sudan, but because of what you're saying, it's unsafe for us right now. But hopefully, we can get there soon. I hope what's going on there just doesn't take years and years and years and years for them to reconcile.
It's been going on for years, and it's gotten so much worse. I think I do need to say it. About sometime last month, the people who are doing all of the destruction there, the RSF, they actually dug a trench, and I saw a video. It was about 100 people that they made stand in the trench, and they just walked the line and shot all of those people.
Oh my God.
People, and they put it on social media because they are proud of what they are massacring people over there. It's a real genocide that's going on over there. It's a lot worse than Gaza. I mean, genocide is genocide, but the enormity of the people that are being killed over there. You have children being beaten and raped, children being raped, women. Rape is like a mechanism that they use as part of the war there. Women are being raped every single day, all day long in this place. And no one is doing anything, no one is saying anything because Sudan has lots of gold and it's a proxy war and people are over there. As long as they can get the gold out of there, they don't care what happens to these people.
Brother Amoye, peace. How you doing, man?
Peace, son.
So when you said when you went to Sudan, well, first of all, was that your first time going to Sudan?
Yeah, actually, it was all of our first time. Bronoko had never been there. Tony hadn't been there, and I hadn't been there.
Oh, wow, nice, great experience. You said you saw connections between Sudan, and Kemet. Can you name like two connections, like one or two connections that really stood out to you that you weren't aware of prior to going to Sudan?
Yeah, well, the biggest one, there's a mountain there. A lot of the people that was on the tour with us climbed that mountain. It's called Jebel Barker, and Jebel Barker, it's the natural inclination of the mountain. It looks like a Uraeus, which is the cobra that's at the head of the Nasubides. It looks like that is sitting off the top of the mountain.
Wow.
And so the Kushites believed that Amen resided in that mountain. And so the deity Amen Ra, or Amen, originates in Kush, not in Kemet.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that I didn't know. And so that culture went up into Kemet, and then many of the Nasibides, which are, they were not called pharaohs, by the way. I didn't get into that. I use a lot of metal nature in the book as well to try to, because I think words, we all know that words have certain vibrations, and there's meaning. And when people come in and change the language or change the words, it changes the vibration, it changes the power of the words. So most of the terms that we use referring to Kemet and Kush are Greek or now Arabic. So I wanted to revert back to the indigenous language. But at any rate, the people who were rulers of Kemet were called the Nitsibidi, and many of them sent expeditions, temples, different things to Kush to worship Amen. So that was a connection that I hadn't really known before going to Sudan. And then a lot of the deities, the whole spiritual, I'm not going to call it a religion, but the whole spiritual tradition from Kush and Nubia is very much connected.
Got it. Okay. Nice. Great experience. I got to experience that one day and get to Sudan.
Yeah. And we had a guy, sister, I don't remember recall her name, but she was an excellent guide. And I had, while I was listening, I took a lot of videos of her lectures as she was talking to us. That's probably something that I'll put on my website as well. It's very interesting, and the people there, they're some of the tallest people in the world, and some of the blackest people in the world. It was just so beautiful. And the Nubians there, they open up their homes to us. I mean, they have an attitude like, you're a guest. This is like they would let us have parts of the house that they normally would be in, and they would go somewhere else, during the time it was there. They just let us have free reign of their house. The hospitality is different. It was a unique experience.
It's a family right here. This is the make sure you support brother Amoye, because this is how we can keep doing work with support.
Yeah, I just want to add, Felicia, I'm sitting here hearing all of these little pings on my phone and trying to figure out what's going on. People have been buying the book, so I appreciate the love and the support, and I appreciate HAPI.
Yes.
What? That's what's good. Thank you. And thank you. I saw you made a Cash App deposit. Thank you. That's what's up. When I called you, I told you, I was like, everybody just needs to get this book. I was like, everybody just needs to get your book. I'm glad that that's happening. So family, every month we have a different author. So for March, this is Amoye. He's going to be our author that we will have showcased in the newsletter. I wanted to because I wanted to we have more questions, but I did want to just share with the family kind of what this what the newsletter looks like, because I know we talk about it a lot, and I'm just gonna just kind of scroll, and we can ask questions as we're going, Hassan, but I'm just gonna scroll slowly as we're going. And so yeah, this is volume 45. Wow. Okay, so we've done 45 newsletters, and this is yeah, we always try to put some HAPI news on the, you know, like whatever's going on. This is our tour. Like we had we had such a fun time on these pilgrimages that we go to, and it's just, you know, Amoye, you know, talked about this, like when you go, like all the learning and the things that you see, and you get to see it for yourself, you know, and that's one of the benefits of traveling, and being in a supportive group, and getting the education piece. So yeah, that's why. Hanging out with Dr. Renokushi. Yeah, that's nice.
And real quick on the travel, when both times I've gone by myself. And so once you, like Felicia says, once you get to JFK, it's like you're with family.
Oh, yes, family that'll cut somebody for you.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, we don't play. Like we don't play. Yeah. You know, we have some. I'm going to be uploading some videos. I had to strategically figure out which videos I'm going to upload, because one of the times, actually the time that Taletta and Hassan was there, we when they were both together. So this is maybe two trips ago, or maybe 3 trips ago. We had a HAPI party, and we were actually celebrating Taaqiyy's 50th. I think he was turning 50. So we had like we had a couple parties, and we had a soul train line going down the Nile River. Like it was really, really nice. Like we were learning during the day and having a good time in the evening, and just, you know, being around each other. And it was really, it's really nice. Yep. Yeah. And so, and also some of the things that we didn't talk about is our financial article. We always talk about, you know, finances, some way to look at our money, because we understand that money is how things can happen. money create resources. So we always give real, you know, things that you can just get, you know, just get into. And, you know, because you're here, Gordon, can you just talk about like this article right here? Like what what made you think about writing, you know, writing and talking about this sister right here?
Well, I know it was, you know, of course, you know, African History Month and Near Women's Month as well. So I decided just to do a little research and look into Dr. Joy DeGruy, of course. We know that she's most famous for post-traumatic slave syndrome, but a lot of people may not know about Dr. DeGruy and you know, what she has done for the community. The framework that she uses to describe our pain, you know, our hurt as African people, and in terms of, you know, what's going on with you now, it's not just a result of what's happening now. It's in the blood. It's from historical trauma that probably you've never seen, your mother never seen, but it's stuff that does not go away. And she speaks about that. So, you know, it was something that came across my mind. I try to sit down and I really, really think about what could I write about that would be beneficial information for our people. So she came across my mind.
Mm. Yeah. I always feel your articles they're so thoughtful. And it speaks to whatever is, you know, kind of happening right then and there, which is nice. Yeah. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you, really.
Thank you.
And also, fam, you know, we have people who advertise. So Daniel, Dr. LaRoche, and I'm sorry, I'm going to back up for a minute. The Baby Billionaire book, Ione McNeil. They've been supporting us for a minute now with their advertising, which is, you know, it's really nice. But they also offer, like, the things that they're advertising are things that we need to have. And we actually sat down with the Baby Billionaire book author, and that'll be coming later on this spring, a conversation that we had with her. Yeah, and we're going to have Dr. Daniel LaRose. She was supposed to come on tonight, but he is stuck, of all places to be stuck at, in Florida. So he can't get back into New York City. So he's there like Miss Taletta and Zuwena in hot weather. Yeah. And our doctor, our melanin man, Dr. Moore, he also, has advertised in our newsletter. And so this is the article we were talking about, and I showed this earlier with Miss Taletta. So Taletta, what talk to us about, so like every time when you talk about things, and you're like a person, you getting stuff done, right? So family, listen, if you reach out to her, don't like reach out with the humming type of conversation. It's like, listen, this is what I'm doing, and so that because that's where Taletta shines. She shines in like helping you get straight about some stuff. Mm-hmm. So, how did you come up with the questionnaire that you had?
It's actually something I use in my practice. So, people have these business ideas, but they're everywhere. Like they might have a piece of paper here, a notebook there. Let's just put it concisely in 1 to 2 pages. Because at the end of the day, when it's time for you to sell your business, you need to be concise because people don't have time these days. And they're not going to do a lot of reading. So if you can't explain your business in 2 pages, a lot of people will get stuck there. And so let's just get to the point. What are we doing and how are we going to make money? Are we selling widgets or are we selling wishes? What are we doing? Services or products?
Widgets or wishes?
Services or products? I mean, those are the 2 big categories. Are you going to provide a service? How much is it going to cost? You got to put $1 on your minute. How much is it going to cost? Are you giving away free advice to get people in? What are you doing? What is it going to cost? And then same thing with products. What is it going to cost? At the end of the day, what's your bottom line? Let's just cut to the chase and get it done.
Yeah, and thank you, because a lot of times I think that when Black people are doing business, like we kind of feel like we need to watch out for the community, we need to do this, we need to do that. But the reality is that we need to have a business plan that is financially stable, because you can't be selling something and then you're not making any money. You're, like you're always in the red, at the end of the month, you're trying to hold on and you're trying to, and it's okay. Like, I think the other piece, like the mental piece is that it's okay to make money. Like, it's okay for us to make money. Like sometimes we feel like, saying that we want to have a business that's successful, like that's some way saying that we're not conscious or, but no, like that's how we stay around.
And especially in the service industry, your time and your advice is your stock and trade. So you have to look at it like that. And so a lot of times, because we don't value ourselves, we don't know how to put a value on our minute.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So we have to get past that. And especially if you've been doing something for years. I tell a lot of professionals this, like the people that are coming to you, they're coming to you because they don't know. And it cost you something, whether it was time, sweat, tears to get that knowledge. And so you got to have a return on your investment, so your time and your advice is your stock and your trade. So when people come to me, like there are times I give services away, but if you're coming in the door and asking for the hookup or the blessing, like, okay, you're not my client this season. Let's figure it out, because you gotta, if you don't value yourself, right? And people come to you and they will take advantage of you, and you're sitting in the dark while they're chilling. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way when I first started practicing. A lot of my clients were friends that I grew up with, and they were like, T, I got you. You get the core, give me this continuous. I got you on Tuesday. Well, Tuesday would never come. And so I lost a lot of money early on in my practice just trying to help. And at the end of the day, and I was like, I had to do what I'm telling everyone else to do. I had to begin to look at myself and value the time and sweat and tears that it took for me to get this information. To be able to share with the community. So it's a give and it's a give and take. It's a give and take.
Hey, peace, Taletta.
Hey, Hassan.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. Good to see you too. If let's say, not that you'll have like a complete answer for this, but let's say somebody has somebody makes things, right? Or they make things, but it doesn't take long for them to make it and they want to sell it. But the energy that goes into it, like thinking of the concept and ideas and stuff like that, it's a lot of energy that goes into it more than the manpower, I would say. How do you even come up with a price? Like, do you have like a general way to come up with a price like that?
Well, it all depends on what it is, first and foremost. And then two, again, when you're making the thing, it might not take you a long time to make it, but you have to pay to get the stuff. Yeah. You have to pay to get the things to make the thing, right?
Yeah.
And so the materials, what are those?
The gas spent on maybe driving to get those materials or
all that
transportation. Yeah.
The website.
Packaging, you include all of that in the price,
Gotcha.
Okay. And then put a premium on it.
Yes.
20 to 30%.
Yep.
20% after the expenses. Is that 20 to 30% based on the energy that you're putting into it?
Again, what is your minute worth? Does that make sense? What is your time?
Yeah, definitely. Because sometimes it's like, how do you even come up with what your time is worth?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to undersell
or oversell too. Exactly.
Let me help you out. So if you have a 9-to-5, that's one thing. So if this is something that you're trying to make your business, what does it cost for you to live? Right? And then what type of profit are you trying to make? Right? And so you can get that down to minute, it's 52 weeks in a year, 365 days in a year, and so that's how we have to start thinking. Like, we'll be like, I'm going to sell these, whatever it is, but you ain't figured out how you're going to live. When I was over in Ghana, there was this young man who came up to me and he wanted me to invest $6,000 in a barbershop. Not a problem, because the cost of living over there is, very cheap. So 6,000 was a lot to him.
Yeah.
And so after we broke down what it was going to cost for his products, the place, and all this other stuff, I said, you haven't figured out how you're going to live, but you're going to give me a return on my investment.
Yeah.
So how are you going to give me 50% of your profit when you haven't figured out how you're going to live?
Yep.
You got to think, how am I going to eat?
This is, I think of something in the words of Dr. Ken Harris when he's like, we ain't doing business, we doing business.
True. Yep.
Yeah. He sounded like he was doing business.
Yeah.
No, but listen, this is really, we might have to think about doing a little special edition and really talk about like the psychological aspects. Like, there's the nuts and bolts of a business plan, right? But then all these things that you're talking about, Taletta, are all things that you got to get your mind right to be able to handle. Like, you got to start at, like, your, just the value piece. Because I think about so many times when I see something and I'm like, this is all they selling this for? Or sometimes it'll be like some exorbitant amount. I'm like, okay, did they even do any type of like looking in the same thing that they're selling, looking around and seeing what other people are selling and the value? Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of things to consider.
Market analysis.
Yeah. But it's not impossible, family. Like that's the whole thing. It's not impossible. The same work and energy you go with getting a business plan is the same type of work and energy you're doing going to someone's job.
And one thing about the business plan, people think it has to be 25 to 50 pages. That's why I came up with the 2-3 pages. Like, it doesn't take all of that, but it gives you the things you need to think through when you're ready to get started.
Yeah.
A lot of people get stuck on that.
Yeah.
Like, they won't start because they haven't done the business plan. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you, this HAPI Newsletter will get your mind right. Family, make sure you are liking, sharing, and subscribing. Liking, sharing, and commenting, but also make sure you're subscribed. So, family, now our new goal is 40K on IG. We almost there, so that's good. And we know, like, what we're asking, like 40,000, is really not a lot, because we look at some of these videos and we're like, man, like 100,000 people looked at a video. We, like 150,000 people are looking at our reels. So we know we got 40K of y'all out here that can make sure you are subscribed to the HAPI page. Okay. Excuse me, the HAPI YouTube page. Okay. That's very super important. Okay. Yeah. So this is kind of like every month, this is what we're doing. And we're really excited with this Crystology. I'm telling you, I'm excited about this Crystology and the juice piece, because this is making us a well-rounded, people. We get the finance, we're getting this mental health piece, and it's not just mental health, because there's a, Gordon, you also, there was an article you wrote about, which I thought was good. It was like 6 important things to eat or something like that. I was like, okay, this is good. This is good. I enjoyed, reading this newsletter. But family, make sure you're subscribed, and our little sign, because we're past 30. We're past 37. We're up to 47. Okay, fam. So we're getting ready to wind down. To our guests, is there anything you want to say? You want to add on or talk about?
I would like to say something to all the panelists that are here. Great job. I just want to say to you, Brother Jay, I applaud what you're doing with your store. What you're having, brother, is an mbangi, which Dr. Fukiao calls a room without walls. So you're able to sit down, do a lot of building, problem solving. You look into your people to solve problems, to each other, and not outsiders or anybody else from other communities. You're tapping into your own energy source, that in your people. So, brother, I appreciate that. And continue. Hopefully one day I can come out there and join you one day. I'm not too far.
You're always welcome, brother. Always welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I'll definitely meet you out there.
Yeah, you guys got to roll through. Yeah, you come up. When you shoot off the train, it's just like a sea of men. It's just like a sea of men. That's how I even knew he was doing this, because I came off the train, walking to my house. I was like, what are all these guys doing here? And so I started kind of getting a little jealous, because I was like, man, I want to go in here, but I understood why I don't need to be in there. But by the same token, I was like, man, I want to go in there and see what they're talking about, But
it's something about the women. They want to break the door down and get in. I swear, I kid you not. I have women saying they'll disguise themselves as men just to get in, pretty much doing anything to get in, like it's a club or something, but it's funny. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's just we just nosy. That's all. Anybody else have anything to share? Wow. Okay. So listen, family. Look, we got this. This newsletter. Let me put this back up. Make sure you are subscribed to the newsletter. Okay. And we also, this month, we've been putting out a Black History, moment every day. So we have a couple days left for the Black History moment. So anybody that's subscribing to our newsletter now, we are just for those people who have subscribed to the newsletter for the month of February. Okay, you haven't received anything yet, but what will happen is that when our new newsletter goes out next Monday, our first newsletter, we're also going to restart the Black History moments for those people. For everyone else, it's in your inbox if you haven't opened it up. And I have to say, shout out to the family, because you guys have really been opening up these Black History moments, and it's been nice. And just when we write them, well, I don't write them. Hassan writes them, but when I just put them in the email, I'm just like, so many things that I'm learning. So shout out to all the people that have been opening them and reading them and sharing them with others. Yeah.
Felicia, I did want to say something. I was muted. I didn't realize it.
Oh, okay.
One of the things I want to say is, for us as a community, this group of individuals, so varied, the different talents and expertise and skill sets that we have, and it's stuff that we need in our community. Our community has so many talented people, and but we're not connected in the ways that we really need to be connected. So I hear a lot of people talk about the state of affairs with the government, this Republican government, and they think that in 3 more years this will all be over because Agent Orange won't be in the seat. But that's not necessarily true. We need to develop. Well, we need to redevelop, because we used to have them. Think tanks, Black think tanks, that we can study every aspect of our survival and how to implement it, like with the law, the health, the mental health, the I was just talking, like what Jay's doing with his group. I was just talking with some brothers last night about implementing that kind of thing. The crystals, the spiritual aspect, the health aspects of that. There's so many different things, but if we have groups of people that, like we used to have the Harlem History Club. Could you imagine? The Harlem History Club had John Henry Clark, Willis Nathaniel Huggins, John Jackson, J.A. Rogers, William Leo Hansberry, Kwame Nkrumah. All of them were in the Harlem History Club at one time. These are brilliant people, and they thought of different things. And a lot of what we benefit from today is a result of these kinds of things. So, and also having study groups, like in the tradition of ASCAT, having study groups where we can work out these ideas so that we can help our young people. We can help heal from the trauma of relationships that's like with the young people today. I mean, I'm glad I'm an elder when it comes to like dating and things like that, because the health of our relationships is in such a bad state, and we need to work on. We're the solution to our problems. Nobody's going to help us solve anything. We have to do it, and we have the minds, we have the talent to do it. We just and the HAPI, I applaud HAPI, because the first time I heard of HAPI years ago, and I was going to go in that conference that you had that was going to have that wound up being canceled, and you moved it to Detroit. Oh. Yeah. So I applaud the things that you guys have been doing, but we have the talent. Just listen to the few people here on this panel. We can solve a lot of things with just these people here.
Absolutely.
So we need. That's what I wanted to say. That's the last thing I wanted to leave, is that we need to create think tanks, study groups, in every aspect of our survival, and every community across the country and internationally, and get things together, because these people got plans for us. Yeah, they got plans for us. They are putting billions of dollars into trying to diminish our population, our presence on this planet. We have to realize it's serious business. We want to survive. We want to have generations and generations. We've survived all of this time, but everything changes. And if you're not prepared, if we just sit, we as a people, we seem to be reactionary. We wait for things to happen before we mobilize to do things. And we can't continue to do that.
Yeah. What I tell you, this is almost like a commercial for the HAPI Newsletter, because those are the things. That's why we were like, we got to start putting our stuff down and get people, in this. And we always talk about the community piece. Like, let me tell you, that's why we're just like, listen, if you got something you need to share with us, and we don't mind being a blueprint for this, because we've got to have more think tanks. And the other piece on that side of like thinking about the ideas is that we need people, and we need also to actually do these things and to support these things, because something Dr. Renoka Rashidi used to always say, he's like, everybody can't do everything, but everybody should do something. And, you know, he used to always say that. Like, we don't have to do all the things, but we do need to support, you know, people who are doing stuff. Yeah. Thank you for that, Amoye. I think Gordon, you sent this to me. Can you talk about this, the Sankofa Forum?
Yeah, brother Amoye just talked about think tanks, and I belong to a think tank that goes on. It happens every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. It's the Sankofa Forum. It's sponsored by Crash Universal Temple, where Baba Derek Jackson is a thought leader, and also we have the Joe Benton Academy for African-Centered Thought, which is every other Thursday. That's like a book club. That's at 7 o'clock as well too. I can leave information, but when we talk about solving problems and understanding, you know, who we are, the world we live in, and that's just a place to be every Tuesday, and we discuss these matters at hand. So I just wanted to make sure I just plug Crash Universal Temple in.
Can you, please, brother Gordon, can you please send us that information?
Yes, absolutely, I will.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. That's what's up. All right, fam. All right. We good? Everybody's good? So so listen, family, make sure you are signed up for this newsletter. It's like, I feel like I have the little saying everywhere I go. It's like, you signed up for the newsletter? And sometimes when you guys call me, then one of the first things I ask was like, are you signed up for the newsletter? Okay, how you not signed up for the newsletter, but you asking for something? Like, I'm gonna need for y'all to be signed. Everyone has to get signed up. This is important. Thank you guys for coming on. Like, yes. I really appreciate you guys. And family, you'll be able, if you don't see this on Monday, you will have a link so you can get your book by Amoye, so his phone can keep dinging. You'll be able to get some advice. Oh, I can't wait to hear about the Black Wall Street up in North Carolina. Yeah, that is going to get us in. Brother Gordon has a very like a vulnerable. Oh my God, this story he's going to write. I don't even know if we should say anything. People just need to read it. It's really good, family. I mean, it's really good. And then we have our Obsidian crystal that she's about to break down next month. So family, make sure you are subscribed to the HAPI Newsletter. And thank you guys. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Thank you, brother, son.
Yes, please.
All right, fam. So now we are it's, you know what time it is. You don't know what time it is, Hassan?
I know what time it is.
Well, you gotta say what time it is.
Time for you to go through your infomercial with the box.
It's happy box time. Oh my God. You know what? Everybody in my household, they're just like, they so sick of this box. They are so sick, but we only have like 5 boxes left. So.
I love when you go into your saleswoman, mode.
Because I love this box. And also, family, this Sunday coming up, we have Mfudishi Juiceologist, who was our first person we actually sat down with for our in-studio sessions. And he is a HAPI scholar, I mean, he's like part of the crew at this point. And he's going to be on HAPI Talks this Sunday. Mfudishi Juiceologist, and he's going to be talking about spiritual warfare. Okay, it's very, make sure you guys check this out. And yeah, I'm feeling Black Magic Mike up in this. I don't know who Black Magic Mike is, but he getting it in over here. He's like, yes, we have all Black things: health, business, and crystals right there. Okay. All right. Now our box. Okay, wait, I had to make sure I get everything together here. Okay, let me get I'm gonna put up the website in a minute so we know website to go on to. But let's just talk about the box for a minute. Our HAPI box. And look, it's like it's like a nice box. Okay. Nice box. But the best thing about it, I should just do the physical piece, and you should talk about it. But this is the best.
I like it this way. I like it this way. Go ahead. Keep doing your thing.
Here. It's like, look at that. This is like so cool, family. It's like, this is the HAPI, the symbol for HAPI. It's the glyph right there. That's part of it. All right. Now in the box, this is what you get. I love a mug. I love this mug. And I still have yours. We got to meet up. Hassan, so I can give you your mug. Taaqiy has his, and I have mine. So what's good? Right here. Okay.
Every week, I'm still drinking out of this.
Oh, no. I just can't. I can't even look at that. You got to be this is the 15-ounce HAPI mug that you're going to get. Okay. And then our brother Enoch Hankerson, he used to do a lot of maps with Dr. Ranoka Rashidi, and he did this one of Kemet for us. It's nice. It's laminated. We'll get real close right there. You can see. And it's nice. And this is Enoch Hankerson. Yeah, he does a lot of beautiful creative things. Also, you get a t-shirt right here. This is the Compass t-shirt. Yeah, that's a little vintage wear right there. I'm so happy you have the same shirt as that I have on today.
You said yours is vintage.
Yes. And so also, family, in this HAPI box, you get this commemorative. This is what actually Amoye talked about this. He talked about this this conference. This is the One Africa Power and Unity Conference. We were supposed to have this conference in Egypt, and then it was like a lot of drama. And so we were like, nobody's going to stop us from coming and being in Egypt. So we moved the conference to Detroit, which was like sold out. It was such a beautiful event. And we made these commemorative books for everybody. And, we just thought we were just making like conference books for people. But then people were like actually trying to stack them up and take them home. We were like, oh, no. And so we had to we printed more. So we have a few copies left. But these books are nice because everybody that was at this conference had to write an article about the power and unity. So we have everybody: Dr. J, Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, Baina Bello, Kaba, Shahrazad Ali, Professor Small. Let's see. And our host, Dr. Ken Harris. He's hosted actually Black Excellence too. Yeah. And Hassan was there. Hassan, he threw me for a loop last week because you was like, oh, I was at the conference too. And I was like, I couldn't remember. And then Hassan sent me a picture. And the reason why I could remember because he had a beard. He looked very different. But yeah, this book is nice. Everyone's articles, Jabari Ozazi. So you get a copy of this book. You also get this book right here, The 7 Keys. And this is by Tina Tillman. And he did a whole show about this. And this is a really nice book. And he wrote this book out of what happened, because of what happened to his son and his son being murdered. And he took his pain, he took all of his grief, and he wrote this incredible book, The 7 Keys for Personal Development. Yeah, this is really good. And then also, listen, we're giving a $100 gift certificate to our ICAT Tours trip. Okay, now the thing about this, family, is that we're going on a trip, so you can get like $100 off. Plus, we already, we took some money off the trip already. I'm telling you, family, this is win-win. Then you win this box, you get this fan. This fan is nice because you wasn't with us when we were in Ghana. I saw a lot of people with these little fans. I was like, what is this? I just thought it was just like something. No, this is a powerful fan. Okay. Yep. Everybody get one. And then the last thing you get is a handwritten, well, it's not a handwritten note, but it's signed all by us. Myself, Hassan, and Taaqiy, and really just an appreciation of you guys supporting us. So that is the HAPI box. All right. So we ready for our question?
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to say the question.
But the
go ahead while I'm getting ready.
Put the email in.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's look. So family, that's right. Open up your emails right here. This is where you're going to send everything to. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. And we want to share. I'm sorry, family. We had a little. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. All right, so here's our first. This is, well, not our first, but our only question that we have for tonight.
See, now we're gonna find out if people have been paying attention.
Yes. All right, there we go. That's the question.
All right, which Ethiopian empress helped the resistance to the Italian colonization? Which Ethiopian empress helped the resistance to Italian colonization? And in the meantime, y'all could be liking, sharing, subscribing, turning on your notifications. If you don't know the answer, you could be doing all of that.
But no. Somebody knows the answer to this. Somebody knows the answer. And we need somebody to make us some original music. That's what
we could just talk. Let's tell jokes.
No, I don't want to tell jokes. Let's tell jokes.
I got a good joke for you.
Lord have mercy. Family, make sure the other piece is that we got this trip coming up that you guys are gonna want to be a part of. You know, that's very make sure. Okay, how is Brother Gordon putting the answer? Like you can't put, you gotta you
can put the answer. Why he can't put the answer?
He can't, but he has to email the answer.
Oh, true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because we have a running beat. Well, we have a winner.
You said we have a winner?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the name to come up. But yeah, I was like, man. And really, I mean, listen, Brother Gordon's been he should just get a box anyways, because we've been with you for a minute, Yeah, he's been with us rolling. He needs to get a nice HAPI box.
Hey, Felicia, you spoke to somebody about meeting up with me?
Who's gonna be meeting up with you?
Didn't you ask somebody to meet up with me?
Oh, yes. Yes, I sure did. They live down the street from you. Listen, family.
We're going to talk about who that was when we get off the air, because I guess you didn't realize who that was.
Yeah, until afterwards, she told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wow. Okay, yeah, you can go to his house. So family, listen. Wait, we should have, oh no, like what's going on? I thought we had a winner, but I guess not. Oh, not yet. Oh, well, we got a winner. Yeah, Brother Gordon is just he just have to he gonna be the winner because he literally just sent it to me. I mean, he put it in the chat. Yeah. This one right here, I actually knew the answer to this one.
You did?
I did. I was really proud of myself.
Okay. Good job. You didn't get nothing yet?
Actually,
So do I need to put a hint out there?
No, No, we have a winner. But we have a really good question. We have a really good question for next week, or the next time that we're on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting for this to go through, and I'm gonna put up the answer.
So would you say that a lot of people are opening up the newsletters?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good, family. I mean, we started out with like maybe I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6% of the people, and we're doing almost like about half.
Nice.
Which is pretty good. Yeah, like usually when you have any type of newsletter around like the industry like success, you know, they look at like anywhere between like 25 to like I think 35% is considered really good. So we're above that. But my thing is like we should be at 100. Like everyone should open it up.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not even like that's, you know, that's not a thing. Like we should, you know, because it's so much goes. It's not even what we're putting into it, but it's like what you can get out of it just by yeah, they get you amped. You know, like I see the articles. I get amped putting it all together. You know, just like the Black History piece. You know, I was getting really amped looking at you. You know, like sending you like when you were sending these clips, like you know, me just looking at them.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right.
I think by having this show, people will be a little bit more inclined to opening up the newsletters because you know you have the face to go with it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so we do have a winner. So let me first write the let me first put the let me share the answer. I'm sorry. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, I'm gonna bring this brother back in.
Taaqiy Batal.
Yep.
Yep.
If, you know, brother Gordon just happens to be here in the back.
That is crazy.
Yeah, like that's what's up.
Well, congratulations, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you know what? I got home late today, but what I wanted to do was throw on my Nubia t-shirt. I have one as well.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, wouldn't that been something?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's what's up. All right. Well, you know what? So send me your to the same email address. Send me your shirt size and send me your address. Okay.
I will, sister.
All right. There it is. All right.
Sorry about that. Peace. All right.
Please.
All right. There it is. All right. So our last piece of business before we get out of here is make sure you guys are signed up for the newsletter, right? And make sure that you are subscribed to the newsletter. Subscribe to us on YouTube, that you're following us on YouTube, okay? Make sure you hit the little button, you know, that you're subscribed to us, and also you hit the button that says that you are, you know, you get the notifications. That way, when we go live, then you get the email. I mean, you get the notification to your phone or wherever you get notifications from YouTube at, and it goes right there. Yep. And then the last thing, family, you want to you know, this show. This trip. It's really a good value. Like it's really a good value. Yeah. So yeah, and you know, because we were able to get a cheaper discount over in Africa, we were able to extend that to everybody. So I call everyone that's already signed up. I called them today, and it was like people were screaming like they won the lottery. It's like, oh my God. I was like, and I was getting amped too. I was like, I know. And like, it's good to tell people they can save some money. So family, you know, listen, go to akettours.com and get on this trip. okay, it is well worth it. Like, we are not even playing around. And when you are there, you're going to be thanking us like, I'm glad, I did whatever I had to get on this trip. So yeah, family.
Yeah, and I'll say this, look at it as an investment on yourself. Not so much of like being meticulous of, well, where are we going and how much would it cost to go there, and how much would the airline tickets be, or how much is the food, and trying to wrap your mind around all of that.
Yeah,
just look at it as an investment on your life, an investment on yourself, your family. If you bring in your family, that's a hell of an investment as well. That you're adding value to your family. So just put it that way.
Yeah, I like that. I know, for me, when I've always done like a lot of traveling, but when I started traveling into Africa, it's just a different beast. It's a different spiritual experience that you have. And I like what Taletta said, that she came by herself. And I remember when she first got there, and I was like, hey, and and it was just like 2 days, we best friends.
Yeah,
and let me tell you the other piece. I was talking to somebody today, and they were drinking some hibiscus, cinnamon, something, right? And I was like, wow, that sounds delicious. He was like, oh yeah, I got this recipe from Taletta. And I was like, oh my God. Like, the other piece is that people like outside of the group are still hanging. Like, they're still hanging. They're still, doing stuff with people. Some people have did businesses with each other, and so it doesn't end with the trip. Like, we get back from the pilgrimage, and it ain't like, okay, to see you later. I mean, like, we're damn near almost tearful when we're at JFK when we come back. But it's really, it's a whole experience.
Whole experience.
Yeah. And family, the price that you're looking at, it includes the international flights, includes all the flights. Okay, so we leave out of Newark on August the 20th. We get into Togo on the 21st. And the price includes all of this. And so then we had to, we're in Togo for a few days. We head to Ghana. Then we head to Cairo. And from Cairo, we're going to go down and spend a day in Luxor. Then we come back to Cairo, and we fly back into JFK. And so all the flights, 2 meals a day, hotel stays, all the interest fees to, we're going to, see the pyramids. We're going to, see the brand new museum. Have you seen the brand new museum?
Yeah.
That's right. You did. Yeah. And that is beautiful. That brand new museum is beautiful. Yeah. So it includes all of that. Is everything. The only thing you have to come up out of the pocket with is the cost of your visas. Okay. And a lot of times people are like, oh, this visa process is daunting. It could be, but it's not when you travel with us. We make sure that you get your visa. We help you step by step in securing that process. And it's only the visas for Togo and Ghana that you have to worry about, because we secure everyone's visas for Egypt. We stay in 5-star hotels, and we have air-conditioned buses. When we do get on the bus, we're all together. So even if you're just rolling by yourself, you're not. I mean, you'll be, at the airport, but as soon as you get to the airport, we're there with our HAPI gear on, like, hey, so it's not it's an event that you will have a good time, but you will definitely learn a lot about yourself. And it is definitely an investment in you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
We
right.
good?
I think we Gucci.
Okay. Cool.
Well, say.
Cool. All right. Well, family, thank you once again. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy with us. All right. Check us out on Sunday, 7:00. We got Mfudishi Jehutimus.
Yes.
That's going to be a powerful show. He always bring the energy. Always bring the energy. Always bring the knowledge.
Yeah. And this is the first in studio session with me. This is the first one. Yeah, because it's just been the Hassan show.
Yeah.
God, this is so it's hard to talk.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love you. You all right by me, Hassan. You
Yes.
all right by me.
All right, so we'll see y'all later. All right, happy family.
All right.
Stay
Peace.
happy. Peace.
Economics and politics are the foundation of human development.
While forming the world's earliest civilizations, Africans also laid the groundwork for the creation of economic systems.
By learning from our history, we gain the strength to empower the present and design the future. Presenting the premier forum for truth, culture, and change. HAPI Talks. Join us as we unlock the secrets to our success.